When the lights go out and the world is quiet, that's when the whispers begin. Welcome to Whispers in the Dark. Real stories, real fear. Just don't listen alone. Story 1: The Clown in the Cement Factory. It was fall of 2016, the height of the clown sightings craze. People all over the country were reporting strange men in clown costumes lurking in the woods, parking lots, schoolyards. Most people thought it was just a hoax, viral marketing, creepy fun. But I wasn't like most people. I liked exploring abandoned places, urban exploring. So when my best friend Danny sent me a pin for an abandoned cement factory on the edge of town, I didn't even hesitate. We got there around 10 p.m. It was massive. Rusted metal silos, broken windows, staircases leading nowhere. The whole place reeked of mold and damp concrete. We had flashlights and pepper spray. I remember laughing when Danny said, "If a clown shows up, I'm throwing you at it and running." The deeper we went, the more the darkness swallowed sound. Just our footsteps, our breath, the soft creak of steel in the wind. That's when we heard it. A laugh. Not close, but not far enough. We froze, looked at each other like, "Did you hear that too?" Then we saw it, painted on a broken wall near the loading dock. "Hello, girls." It wasn't there in the photo Danny had sent me earlier that week. We turned around. Our flashlights scanned the corridors. Nothing. Just concrete dust floating in the beam. Then we heard footsteps, running. I shouted, "Who's there?" Laughter again, closer. And then we saw him. A man in a clown mask, dirty and cracked, crouched at the end of the hallway. He didn't move at first, just watched. Then he ran, straight at us. We screamed and bolted. My boots hit metal stairs, slipping on rust and old leaves. Danny tripped and I grabbed her arm. "Move, move!" He was behind us, fast. The kind of fast that doesn't make sense in boots and concrete. I looked back once and saw him lunge. His hand grabbed my ponytail. I screamed and yanked free, losing a chunk of hair. The pain was sharp, hot. We ducked into a side room and slammed the door. I kicked over a metal cabinet and wedged it against the handle, breathing like we'd run a marathon, heart trying to rip out of my chest. He pounded once on the door, just once. Then silence. We stayed in that room for at least an hour, maybe more, afraid to even whisper. My head throbbed. My scalp was bleeding. Danny wrapped it with her flannel and kept her hand over my mouth every time I shook from sobbing. We texted 911 but had no signal. Eventually, we decided to make a run for it. When we opened the door, he wasn't there. We moved fast, sticking to the outer walls. Flashlights off. Just the moonlight bleeding through the broken roof panels. I thought we were safe until we reached the loading dock again and saw the writing had changed. Now it said, "Bye, girls." We didn't stop running until we reached the car. Danny was shaking so bad she dropped the keys. I drove, fast, tires spinning gravel. When we got home, I threw up. Danny cried. We never filed a police report. We didn't want anyone to think we made it up. But it was real, too real. It's been years now. I still have the scar on my scalp where he yanked my hair. I still can't stand the sound of children laughing. It sounds too much like him. And I still urban explore sometimes. But I carry a knife now. Not because I want to use it, but because I never want to feel that powerless again. People still think the clown thing in 2016 was a joke, a prank. But I know better. Because there's one detail I've never told anyone. When I woke up the next morning, there was a yellow balloon tied to my front door. Story 2: The bloody stranger in my house. I've never been a nap person. But that day, I was so tired. The kind of tired that wraps around your body like a weighted blanket and won't let go. It was Sunday. Rainy. Gray. I curled up on the couch around 2 p.m. under a fleece blanket, the hum of my dishwasher in the background. I must have drifted off. When I woke up, everything was silent. Not the peaceful silence you get in the middle of the night. This was wrong. Too quiet. And cold. My eyes opened slowly, and that's when I saw him. A man was standing directly above me, covered in blood. He was barefoot, dripping. His face was pale and twisted with confusion. Blood soaked the front of his shirt and his hands trembled at his sides. For a split second I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. He didn't say anything. He just stood there. I screamed. Loud. I kicked the blanket off, threw a pillow at him, and scrambled off the couch. He didn't chase me, he didn't even flinch. He just looked lost. I ran to the kitchen, grabbed the biggest knife I had. I dialed 911 with shaking fingers and whispered to the dispatcher, "There's a man in my house. He's covered in blood. I don't know who he is." She told me to stay on the line, to stay hidden. Help was on the way. But I could hear him moving. Slow, dragging steps through the living room. I peeked around the corner. He was sitting on my couch, head in his hands, bleeding onto my rug. Then he stood up again and walked straight toward my hallway, where my bedroom was. I screamed again, louder this time. "Get out!" He paused, turned slowly. "Where's Lisa?" he mumbled. My heart dropped. "Who?" He swayed on his feet. "This isn't my house." He looked around, blinking as if truly seeing everything for the first time. Then his knees buckled. He collapsed right there in the hallway, face first onto the floor. Blood smeared across the hardwood. I didn't move. The dispatcher kept talking, but her voice was miles away. Then I heard it, sirens. 2 police officers and paramedics came storming through the door moments later. I dropped the knife and raised my hands. "I didn't do anything," I sobbed. "He just showed up." The officers rushed to the man. The EMT knelt beside him, checked his pulse, and nodded. One of the officers said, "We got a call about a car crash 3 blocks away. Driver fled on foot, hit his head on the steering wheel." I stood frozen. "His name's Michael Jansen," the officer added. "Lives a few houses down." The man was loaded onto a stretcher. His eyes fluttered open for a moment, and he looked straight at me. "I thought I was home," he whispered. And then he was gone. Just like that, the nightmare ended with a single broken sentence. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept seeing his face. Pale, confused, bloody. But not malicious, not violent. Just lost. I called the hospital the next day, asked how he was doing. The nurse said he had a severe concussion, memory loss, internal bleeding. His wife, Lisa, had been out grocery shopping when it happened. She sent me flowers later that week. No card, just white lilies. I still have the blood-stained rug. I couldn't throw it away. Sometimes I still nap on the couch, but I always lock the door now. And I always remember how thin the line is between horror and misunderstanding, between stranger danger and a man just trying to get home. If you made it this far, you're one of the brave ones. Don't forget to subscribe for more true horror stories. And remember, the next whisper might be meant for you.